What's going on social media, socialites? If you're watching this on the replay, this is a live that I'm doing now. It's called Cigar with the CEO. This is actually a part 2. If you're watching this on the replay, I did part 1, and I'm going to link part 1 below in the description. The reason why there was 2 parts was because this is a live video. So if you guys have watched my vlogs before, they're very scripted. This isn't scripted, this is live and direct. And so last time, when I was inside the casino, a live band started playing. So I said, okay, next time I go live, I'm gonna go live outside in the beautiful Cabana area and whatnot. So this is my last day in Vegas, and I wanted to do part 2 of what I was talking about, which is how to deal with depression as an entrepreneur. Now I'm going to speed up so that I can get a lot of this in, because my flight leaves at 4, but I have reservations for the Sterling Brunch. If any of you guys know the Sterling Brunch, listen. The Sterling Brunch is the most famous, luxurious brunch in the United States of America. It's free-flowing champagne, all the champagne you can drink, all the lobster you can eat, all the snow crab legs, all the caviar, all of that stuff. So I have reservations at 1 o'clock for the Sterling Brunch. So I'm going to try to teach truth to power as quick as I can to share this with you guys. Now, I have my Monte Cristo. I have another Monte Cristo cigar. So yesterday, I think it was that yesterday or the day before yesterday, I had another Monte Cristo. And look, guys, I have the Mandalay Bay cigar because I lost my torch. I don't know what I did. I need to get me a travel humidor, and I need to get me a travel torch. And since I'm traveling so much, I'm just gonna go ahead. I saw a really nice Cohiba travel case that I saw a few months back when I was doing some shopping online for my baby, for my daughter. It just kind of popped up in my suggested things on Amazon, so I think I might go back and get that myself. So if you're watching this on the replay and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole, and I own E.DeanCole Financial. Now I'm gonna multitask. I am going to use my keys as a punch because, like I said, I am out and about. So if you ever want to puff on a cigar, all you have to do is put your key in, twist it, if you don't have a cutter and you don't have a punch, and there you go. Nice punch right there. So like I said, if you're watching me for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole, and I own E.DeanCole Financial. We are a consulting firm, and we specialize in working capital, alternative finance, and business credit development, as well as the newest version, or they're not the newest versions, but what's being added is entrepreneurship. I am taking on the embodiment of this coach. A lot of you guys have been reaching out to me for mentorship, and so I said, okay, I am actually going to take on the role of mentorship. Now there are over 32 people watching, and we only have 1 thumbs up. How we gonna do that? We ain't gonna do that. If you're watching, I want you to hit that thumbs up button right now as I get ready to toast up the cigar. And if you watched my videos before and you was like, Dean, I didn't know you were live. How come I didn't catch you live? 2 things. Thing number 1, you've either seen one of my videos before, oh, this is horrible. Or thing number 2, you subscribed, but you did not hit the bell. So when you subscribe, you have to hit the notification bell. This is horrible. Man, let's see how this pulls, guys. This is horrible. See, the reason why you use butane with cigars is because you don't want to burn it. Puffing on a cigar, toasting up a cigar is just like toasting up food. When you put too much heat, when you put fire directly on it, it kind of burns the flavor. You don't get a good even burn. So that's why you see me turning it as I toast it, so that I can get a good even burn. Now, if you watch some of my other live videos, you know, I have this real fancy equipment set up, and you can see people's comments. So you're not going to be able to see people's comments because I'm out in Vegas. I don't have my fancy setup with me. So when I start shouting people out, start saying their names, then you don't know who I'm talking to, because I am I am teaching live. Now we have a total of 33 people watching and only 20 likes. So I'm not gonna start teaching until we get to at least 30 thumbs up. And then I'm gonna start teaching. So let's see who's all in the building. Let's see who is in the building. We have, all right, we got MC Lit is in the building. Hey MC, how are you doing today? We got Big Face Truckers in the building. Said, what's going on, brother? Let me pull on a cigar. Hey, come on and join me. Big man, Ghost, Still Hogging TV or Ghost. Hey, how are you doing? He was actually in Vegas last night, and we missed each other like ships in the sea. He had to go home, and I was actually out visiting with family, so I was hoping that he could have joined me, because I was out here with a female friend of mine, and she went home early, so I was free. So last night would have been a great time. So if you was in the Vegas area, you could have hit me up. We could have hung out, could have had some sticks together. So let's see who else is in the building. All right, we got Brandon Whitaker is in the building. Hey Brandon, how are you doing today, my man? Trenton Marshall is in the building. Hey Trenton, how are you doing? Deontay is in the building. We got Muslim Truckers in the building. How you doing, Muslim Trucker? Assalamu alaikum. We got Island Boy Trucker. Hey Island Boy, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing, Island Boy? We got Trevo is in the building. Hey Trevo. We got Ray David is in the building. He joining me live. What's going on, Ray? How are you doing today, my man? We got Chipito Hinton is in the building. Hey Chipito, how are you doing today? So let's go ahead. All right, so we have how many likes? 26 and 29 people watching. Okay, we could do that. We could do that. Let's go ahead and get into it. So if this is your first time watching me, this is unlike any other live experience you've ever seen. It's very interactive. And if you're watching on the replay and you're like, hurry up and get to the point, the entire thing is the point. This is a live video, and so you determine how I teach, what I teach on. All right, I see there are some questions that people are asking, so I am going to answer your questions at the end. So save your questions for the end, and I'm going to answer the first 5 questions at the end. So I am going to answer your questions, but I'm going to teach Truth to Power, talking about dealing with depression as an entrepreneur. Now, let's do a quick temperature check. How many people in here are entrepreneurs? If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a CEO, or you're a boss, or you are an owner-operator, or you own your own daycare, whatever it is, if you are an owner, I want you to say owner, all right? If you are an owner, I want you to say owner, all right? If you're an owner, I want you to say owner. If you're not yet an owner, and you're on your way to becoming your own, owning your own business, I want you to say on my way, all right? This is gonna let me know what I need to teach about depending on how many people are watching live. And if you want to participate in this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, so the next time I teach live, I can teach specific to what it is that you like. Let's see who's all in the building. All right, we have, all right, Timmy P says he's an owner. Brandon Whitaker says he's an owner. Travis says he's an owner. Big Face Trucker says he's an owner. MC Lit says she's an owner. All right, Willie Cornell says an owner. Okay, we have Mr. Knowledge 107 is on my way. Kenneth Cooper is on my way. Island Boy Trucker is on my way. We have Jakia. She says she's on her way. April is on her way. And yeah. So last name, I just say is Half Success. Very interesting name. Says that she is on her way. So, all right, guys. So since you guys are, most of you guys that are watching are owners, then you can relate to this. And if you guys are on your way to becoming an entrepreneur, you'll be able to relate to this as well. It's a miscalculated assumption that being a CEO, being a boss, is always wonderful. It's always peaches and cream, and that's not true. And I talked about this in the last video, and I was saying that 97% of first-time entrepreneurs fail, all right? 97% of first-time entrepreneurs fail. But 75% of second-time entrepreneurs, they succeed. They get past the hump. They get over their hump, and then they succeed. So yeah, it's not always lavish vacations, you know, watches on arms and rings on fingers and all of the other stuff. That does have its place, but there are seasons to entrepreneurship. And I talked about this, and I was very candid about this. I was very, very candid about this in the last video. I deal with depression. I fight depression on a weekly basis. And a lot of it is, the reason why I am able to teach and it seems like, Dean, like it seemed like you in my living room talking to me, or it seems like you're in my office, or you're in my truck, or it seems like you were listening in on the conversation I just had with my wife, or the conversation I just had with my boyfriend or my girlfriend. It seems like the reason why I'm able to talk the way that I am so unapologetically is because I have an anointing to teach about this. And the way that you have an anointing for something is if you've gone through it yourself. And so that's the reason why I'm able to speak so boldly and with so much power, is because I have to fight this on a daily basis. So when I say things like the only person stopping you from being successful is you, I've been saying that to myself for the past 15 years. Even though you guys might see that I'm doing extremely well, we have over 600 clients enrolled into my online course, and you guys see me in a different location every other week, and I have a different female friend with me every time I travel or whatnot. It might seem like it's fun, it might seem like it's dandy, but I actually feel like I am a lot further behind than I should be, and I have to fight that. The thing about being a man or woman of purpose is that you have to deal with your now while you're still cultivating for your future. If you understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say, got it. And even if you're watching this on the replay, like I said, I want you guys to interact with me. I want you to make a mind-muscle connection to this. And I come back and I interact with you as well. So sometimes if I'm having some downtime or some low time in the office or whatnot, I actually come back and answer your questions. So if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to interact with me as well. I interact with people that interact with me. Okay, so let's see who got it. Okay, all right, good stuff. Okay, we have and Anatomy TV says got it. Willie says got it. Island Boy says got it. All right, Chipotle Hilton says real talk, Dean. Yes. Jaquan says got it. Got it. Okay, so when you're dealing with the level of mediocrity that you are on right now, and then you see the greatness inside of you, that can cause depression. Let me explain what I mean by that. The #1 best-selling book of all time says that hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. So there might be somebody right now, there's a young lady, she is abstinent. I'm talking about she ain't played with herself, she ain't got no vibrator, she ain't got no book, she ain't got no nothing. I'm talking about she abstinent. She holding out for Jehovah God to send her husband. She got female friends that are thoughts. She got female friends that's just throwing the pussy away. Seem like they get married after they've been dating for 4 or 5 months. And so she's holding on. I mean, she got her stuff together, she got a house together, she got her cupboards together. Every time you go over to her house, it feel like you're at a restaurant. I mean, not a restaurant, it feel like you're at a hotel. And she's holding on, trying the best that she can, but yet she's so frustrated because she can't find the one. Where you got these women out here, like I said, that's thotting, that's busting it open for anybody, for a goon, for a real digger, for anybody. They just busting it open, and they seem like they get married. And so that hope deferred make your heart grow sick. That's how come depression can come in. Let's say, for instance, there might be some people right now that have tried their hardest to drive for their own self. They keep trying to build up their credit. They keep trying to step out on faith. And there's this little small company that says, hey, you can come and work for me. And you're trying your hardest, but it seems like every single time you try to save a little bit of money for your down payment for your truck, or you save a little bit of money for your insurance to get your own authority, or you save a little bit of money just for your expenses, it seems like something always comes along and wipes that out and messes up your confidence. Hope deferred makes the heart grow sick. Or you could be like me. I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs because before I started my consulting firm, I have always been a top producer at many other consulting firms. I mean, I worked for Wells Fargo. I worked for two major consulting firms before I started my own. And I would see how successful I was, getting paid pennies on the dollar. I'm bringing in almost $2 million in revenue, and my commission on that might have been $20,000. Might have been $20,000. So I'm thinking I'm doing good. Shoot, I got a $20,000 paycheck, but I just brought in $20 million for the company because I had my self-limiting beliefs. I didn't think that I was able to do it for myself. So even though I was the best at what I did, people looked to me. I was intimidating to management. People would come to me instead of coming to management, and people who were in management felt like they needed to knock me down a couple of pegs. I dealt with my self-limiting belief so much so to where it was hard for me. I saw the greatness that was inside of me, but I was dealing with the mediocrity inside of me. And so this is a mistake that I thought. I thought once I realized my goals, that the depression would leave, that loathing would leave. But the reality is that it does not. The reason why it does not leave is because there's greatness inside of every last one of you. And the reason why we have those feelings a lot of times as an entrepreneur, the reason why we have those feelings a lot of times is to help push us. What the enemy made for bad, God made for our good. So that's one aspect of entrepreneurship, and that's one aspect of dealing with depression as an entrepreneur. I'm going to teach, there are 3 things that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to be out of your way. So the first phase of entrepreneurship, of dealing with depression as an entrepreneur, it's battling with your own self. The reality is, in the game of entrepreneurship, the best defense is a phenomenal offense. Your competition, your competitors, there are no competitors. There are no competition. You are your own worst enemy. You're your own competition. That's why I tell people all the time, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. It does not matter what your competitors do. It does not matter what your competition does, but it matters what you do or what you don't do on a daily basis. If you understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say, understand. If you don't understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say, don't understand, and save your question for the end. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to say, don't understand, and then write your question below, because it would have already been over. And I'm just coming back when I have some time, like when I'm on the plane or when I'm in between flights and in between clients, and I can answer some of them. Okay, so let's see. Thank you so much for participating. Okay, so we got Devontae DML, thank you so much for participating. Willie Connell, thanks for participating. Brandon understands. Island Boy says understands. DeWan, thank you for participating. All right, Chipotle Hilton says income producing activities on a daily. Thank you so much for participating. Kenneth Cooper says understands. All right, Allah says understands. Yeah, thank you so much for participating. Thank you guys so much for participating. Like I said, I feed off of you guys when I do these videos. So that's one aspect of dealing with depression, is when you're judging yourself by yourself and you don't feel like you are where you should be. So let me give let me add some levity to that situation. Who says that you are not where you should be? One of this is a joke that I heard, and I think it's so funny, is that one of the best ways to make God laugh is to tell him your plans. So even though, yes, you might be having to work at that nursing home a little bit longer, but you're being faithful over that which is another man's before you become ruler of your own. Yeah, you might be wanting to invest in real estate, but you're still having to work that 9 to 5 and that 6 to 10, but you're being faithful over that which is another man's before you become ruler of your own. So if you're dealing with depression because you can't seem to realize your goal, or you're dealing with depression because you cannot live out what you want to do, the way that you fight this type of depression is by doing something every single day that brings you closer to your goals, okay? On a piece of paper, I want you to write down 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. I'm gonna share something with you guys. This is a secret that most people do not know, but a lot of the CEOs and top level executives, they teach this in their Fortune 500 training. I have over hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of training that I've gone through because I've worked for Wells Fargo, MCI WorldCom. I've worked for TB Ameritrade. I work for a lot of these different large corporations, and they invest hundreds of thousands of dollars into us for training, for facilitation and delivery skills. And one of the things that I've learned, and that I keep with me, and that I teach through my course, is that you can change anything about yourself in 90 days. 90 days. If you work consistently every single day on one task and one goal, your situation will change in 90 days. You can change anything about your life in 90 days. You can change your weight if you want to lose weight. Yes, you probably can't lose a pound a day, but you can lose probably a quarter of a pound a day. If you lose a quarter of a pound a day in 90 days, you will be 45 pounds lighter. Facts, if you work every single day at it. No, you might not be able to lose a pound, or there are some people that can lose a pound a day. Or you want to save money. If you save $1 a day in 90 days, you have $1,000. Yeah, if you saved $1 a day, if you saved $1 a day, by the way the compound interest works, you're gonna have $90, but you're going to set yourself up to the point to where you're going to actually magnetize yourself to where you're going to be able to save more and save more and save more. You can be able to see it for yourself. You can change anything about your life in 90 days. You can repair your credit in 90 days. You can build business credit that's completely separate from your personal credit in 90 days. You can move into a new house. You can get a new car. You can do anything if you focus for 90 days straight. You can change anything in your life in 90 days. So if you're ready for me to teach on how you're able to overcome this mediocrity, I want you to say 90 days. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to say 90 days. And yes, I made a mistake earlier, said you would have $900. Listen, this is live. Excuse me. This is live, and not only is this live, people keep walking by looking at me. They was like, who, a lot of times people think I'm an NFL player because I'm this big guy. I was in the elevator, and this guy looked at my watch. He said, who do you play for? I always tell him I play for Detroit. Like, who do you play for? And I was like, oh, I gotta get ready to go. And his wife was like, I should have got his autograph. It's so funny. So they see me, and I'm talking into this thing. And if you're gonna be a YouTuber or a vlogger, you can get past your fear of public speaking in 90 days. You can change anything about yourself in 90 days. So on a piece of paper, I want you to write down 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day goals. So on your 30-day goals, I want you to write down what you're going to do every single day, whether it is researching on companies that you can lease on to as an owner-operator, whether it is companies that have equipment that you can lease or sell. Every single day, do something towards your goal every single day in 90 days. You will look up and you will see that you have realized your goal. If you want to write a book, every single day, set aside 2 hours to write. But this is a secret. This is a secret that I'm going to share with you. In your first 30 days, what you're going to do is write out your table of contents from beginning to end. After you write out your table of contents, then you follow your table of contents and set aside at least 2 hours a day to write, and you will have your book finished in 90 days. If you want to work out, and this is what I'm just saying to myself. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a little leaner, a little bit leaner. I haven't been so dogmatic about it because of the holidays, but I'm a little leaner. I don't know if you guys can tell or not in my pictures, but I'm leaning out. And just commit to doing 45 minutes of cardio, whether it's walking around your truck, walking around your building, walking around the school. Just commit yourself to doing something every single day. 45 minutes of cardio plus cutting down your calories by 500 calories a day. You can realize that goal. If it's getting in a relationship, listen, get on the dating website, reach out to someone, and you're going to put in the energy and effort, and you can do it in 90 days. Anything about your life you can change in 90 days. So 30-day goal, 60-day goal, and 90-day goal. Write that out and do something every single day towards your goal. You will have what it is that you are believing for if you do that in 90 days. If you become laser focused. Listen, I'm outside. The sun is shining bright. It's beautiful. You see these rubies on my arm, they're not melting. The reason why the rubies are not melting is because the light that's shining down isn't focused. If you take light and you focus it and you make it concentrated, that light now becomes a laser and it can cut through these rubies. Same thing with your focus. You have to become laser focused on one task. Now, I was transparent the other day, and I'm going to be transparent again today. For me, the reason why it's hard for me to date and the reason why I deal with loneliness a lot of times is because for me, in order for me to be successful, I have to be extremely laser focused, and I cannot be distracted because I have ADD, adult ADD. So this is just for me. It's much easier for me to dissect myself, and I have to cut things off and shut things off because in order for me to become laser focused, it takes a lot more for me, whereas somebody else, it might not take that much. But this is just for me in my house. I have to shut down my goals, and I have to become laser focused on committing one goal. And so people are like, Dean, how in the world do you do that? Because every single time I turn around, you're coming out with a new book, you're coming out with a new course, you're going somewhere new, you got this client, you got that client, and you have all of these consultations, and you're always doing something. And that's the reason why, is because my day starts when my eyes open and when my eyes close, and I'm laser focused on one task. I complete that task, laser focus on another task, I complete that task, laser focus on another task, I complete that class. And my day, all I do all day, every day is I work. I'm starting to open up to date more. So you guys saw me out here with a young lady. That's just a friend of mine. I'm still a single CEO. She just happens to be a friend of mine, and her family, she couldn't be around her family during the holidays. I said, hey, might as well come with me. You know, when you're a CEO, you kind of date differently. You know what I'm saying? So this whole entire experience been roughly just seems like a date. You know what I'm saying? So the average person, when they go on a date, they might go for coffee. Me, I might hop on a plane. It is what it is. But I said all of that to say that me being a single CEO makes it more difficult, and I get frustrated at times because I was like, dang, I wish I had already had a wife by now, or I wish I was already in a committed relationship, because if I was already in a committed relationship, I can be laser focused on her, and then laser focused on my goals, laser focused on my baby, then laser focused on her, laser focused on my goals, laser focused on my baby, and then just keep that cycle going. So I have to step outside of me being laser focused at times, and then I have to go and start dating and different things like that. So this coming up in the winter, coming up in the winter is very pivotal for me, because my new book is coming out, Black Owned, How to Start and Grow a Black Owned Business. I have a speaking engagement in New York on New Year's Eve. So if you're in the New York area, I definitely want you to come out. I'll be speaking with Brother Red Pill and Brother Blue Pill. We're talking about economic empowerment to the conscious community. We're going to be talking about that. And then in February, we're going to be on our cruise. So if you want to join, you can still join the cruise. I'm going to put a link in the description below. It's our business and pleasure cruise. We're going to be cruising out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Then we're going to be going to Cozumel, Mexico, which is absolutely beautiful. The day at sea that we have, when we have days at sea, we're going to have different workshops, and it's very intimate. So far right now, we only have 11 people going. So this is going to be a very intimate setting. This is one of the masterminds, and I'm going to leave it all on the table. Anybody that invested in themselves, I'm going to leave it all on the table. I'm going to teach about the $100,000 business plan, how at the end of that session you're going to be able to have $100,000 to grow your business. I'm going to teach on CPN Secrets Reveal, how to get good legal CPNs and how to create legal CPNs. I'm going to be teaching about that as well. I mean, it's going to be great. Then after Cozumel, Mexico, we're going to be in the Grand Cayman Islands. And if anybody knows, that's where a lot of the CEOs go to hide their money, with offshore accounts in the Grand Caymans. We're going to be in Grand Cayman Islands, and then we're going to be in Montego Bay, Jamaica on actual Valentine's Day. So that's going to be phenomenal. I'm going to have, so for the single people that happen to come on the cruise, like myself, we're going to have a networking event on the deck. It's going to be really, really nice. So this is happening in February. So I said all of that to say this. December, January, February, and March is when I'm actually going to kind of have some free time. But then my team has me booked. I'll be speaking at, I think, 3 different HBCUs. I have to look at the calendar, but I'll be speaking at 3 HBCUs every single month, all of 2018. So I said all of that to say this. If I can do that with me fighting my ADD, me fighting my self-limiting beliefs, me fighting my depression, me fighting my loneliness, you can do whatever your goal is if you step out and you actually create it and you do it. So that is the first type of depression. So the first type of depression is dealing with your right now while you see greatness inside of you. If you understand that and you're ready for me to get to the second type of depression as an entrepreneur, I want you to say, ready to go. If you don't get it, I want you to say, don't get it, and save your question for the end. And if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to save your question, and then I want you to write your question immediately right now. I gotta kind of hurry up because I have my reservations in a little bit for the Sterling brunch. Okay. All right, so let's see who's participating. All right, so we got Island Boy says ready to go. We got Willie Cornell says ready to go. We got Raheem Medina says ready to go. Raheem Medina, I like your profile picture, my man. All right, we got Ronnie Thomas ready to go. We got Erica B. Ward ready to go. All right, so you guys are ready to go. Ready to go. All right. So that's the first type of depression. The second type of depression as an entrepreneur is the fact that you have to feel like you have to choose money over family. During the holidays, I have a lot of clients that are in the trucking industry. Like on Thanksgiving Day, actually, I hit 600 new clients enrolled into DCFI Online, which is our online course that teaches you how to build your business credit and how to repair your personal credit and teach you how to get funding. And so I'm really excited about that. We have over 600 people that's enrolled into the course. However, when most people think, they think I only deal with the trucking industry, which is not the case at all. I have clients from all different walks of life. However, the truckers, they want to deal with me. They like me. I think the reason why, because I'm raw and I'm real. But I said out of the 600 people that are going live. I apologize for that. If you're watching this on a replay, there was a pause because they just let me know that it's 12:30 here, so I got 30 minutes to get to Sterling Brunch. So I'm gonna hurry this up. So I'm gonna hurry this up, and then I'm gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna answer 5 questions, so be ready to go. Have your questions ready. When I say go, I'm gonna answer the first 5 questions I see. And if I miss your question, come back and leave your question below. So even if you're watching live and I don't get to your question, ask your question below, and I'm going to come back and answer it. Especially when I'm at the airport, ready to go, and I'm going to connect to that Wi-Fi. I have a 4-hour flight, so that'll be the perfect time for me to answer a lot of my social media stuff. What's going on? Justin is in the building. How you feeling, Justin Frazier? Justin Frazier, I'm so proud of that young man. Justin Frazier is in his house with his beautiful fiance. He got him a nice house, got a great deal on the house from what I understand, a good investment property. He about to flip $10,000 into about $45,000. I'm very proud of that young man. Justin Frazier is watching. Hey, thank you so much for watching, Justin. But so, and this is a prime example, Justin Frazier. He happens to be a client of mine in the trucking industry on the oil field. So the second type of depression that we're talking about is being away from family. And in his live Q&A that he just did a couple of days ago, he was talking about how he'll go to the oil fields and he making all kinds of money. All kinds. He's making all kinds of money. Justin, I think, might be 24. He's making over $100,000 a year, going after his dream as an entrepreneur. People were laughing at him because his quote-unquote lease truck went back. Justin ain't missed a beat at all. He ain't skipped a beat at all. But I said, and so I'm talking about being away from family. So this is the reality of the situation. When you are an entrepreneur, there is a saying that they say, and remember, there are levels of entrepreneurship. They say that weekends and holidays is a luxury that the rich cannot afford. I'll say that again. Weekends and holidays is a luxury that the rich cannot afford. I disagree with that because I believe in a quality of life, and I believe in building a business instead of just working your own job, working your own business. So if you build your business the right way and you own the business instead of being self-employed, there's a difference between owning a business and being self-employed. When you own your business, you can take off. Have your team work it out. You know what I'm saying? You got money to float because you built your working capital up, you built your business credit the right way when you own your own business. But there's levels to this. You're not gonna start off as an entrepreneur immediately. So this is the caveat, this is key. You're going to have to understand that this is a temporary situation. Say temporary situation. I need you guys to interact with me, okay? I want you to say temporary situation. All right, temporary situation. There are close to 100 of you guys that are watching right now. I want you to hit that share button. So I want you to hit the share button right now, and then I want you to come back and tell me where you shared it. If you shared it on Facebook or you shared it in a text message, I want you to share this, and I want you to tell me where you shared this at. Temporary. Okay, guys, I need you guys to participate with me. Okay, there we go. Thank you for participating. Brandon is participating. All right, Ray Davis said TEP for temporary. I appreciate you. Temporary, I appreciate that. Thank you for participating. Olive Boy says temporary. Thank you for participating. All right, Ray Davis said he shared to Facebook. Thank you so much, Ray. Ray, do me a favor and share this in YTTA as well. Share this in YTTA, Ray. And also, Justin, I want you to share this into all of your other trucking black CDL groups on Facebook. I want you to share it right now. Share it in all the places. Okay, you guys participated with me temporary. So I said all that to say this. It's a temporary situation. If you focus and you put that energy and that effort, yes, there are going to be some holidays you're going to be away. There are going to be some weekends that you have to be away, but you have to remember that you are sowing the seed into your future. Do not allow the social norms, do not allow these Anglo-Saxon holidays, do not allow the social pressure to pressure you as an entrepreneur to do something that you're going to regret. Listen, let me explain something to you. Discomfort is temporary, but regret can be eternal. If you're uncomfortable being away from your family, you can get over that. If you are uncomfortable not being able to get your kids what you want to get your kids, that is okay. But do not do something dumb that's going to set you back another 6 months on that journey of entrepreneurship for 90 days, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to participate in an Anglo-Saxon holiday, trying to make someone appreciate you. Now listen, ladies, if you're watching this right now and your man is a trucker, or your man works at the oil field, or if your man is in construction, or if your man is growing his business, leave him alone. Be grateful that you got a man that has vision and stop nagging him. Fellas, if you are in that situation, share this with your woman and let her see. He's not cheating on you. You're not being less than. He is choosing to put you first by sacrificing himself. He will much rather be laid up with you than out working. He would much rather be with his kids and with your kids and playing than be swinging some iron. He would much rather be making love to you than sleeping in his truck. How you doing, sweetheart? Come and say hey to the people. Come say hey to the people. You too.
You're a TV anchor too?
Yes, I am.
Me too.
Say hi. You're a YouTuber?
We're Latins.
You're Latins? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's you're Mexico? That's good stuff. You're enjoying yourself?
Where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
From the TV?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a TV anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Like you.
You're a TV anchor too?
Yeah.
That's good stuff. What's your channel?
Her channel is 44.
Channel 44 in Mexico?
And I am sometimes in television.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
We got to share information. I'm doing this, but we can share information. I'm actually headed to Mexico soon.
He needs to, actually she needs to do one of that. She was telling me she needs to film, to record.
To need to record herself?
Yeah, record for a TV show. She
Okay.
needs to do it later.
You should do this. Well, you ladies enjoy yourself. I have to finish this, and then I'm going to go to the Sterling brunch, but I will see you ladies around.
Okay, adios.
Adios. Hasta luego. See your lifestyle. So like I was saying, it is a temporary situation. So because it is a temporary situation, like I said, ladies, because it's a temporary situation, I need for you guys, ladies, leave your man alone. He is working. Because he is working, let him work. Like I said, he would much rather be with you, making love to you, spending time with you, than to sacrifice for his family. So it is hurting him as much as it's hurting you. And don't be a knife, be a wife. There is something that I heard, and it's not scriptural or anything, I just think it's really, really cool. The Bible says that Jehovah God put Adam to sleep, and he took his rib and created the woman. Well, the rib is the protector of the heart. So because you are by your man's side, your job is to protect his heart. Don't stab him in the heart. Don't make it more difficult for him, because you're making it more difficult for him. So you have to have a plan. At the same time, fellas, if you're in this situation, you're going to have to compensate, okay? You're going to have to compensate for this. You're going to have to give her more time. You're going to have to set aside more time and carve out a time to redo that holiday. If you guys look on my Facebook, I didn't put this on YouTube last year, but on Facebook, all of my clients that are enrolled into DCFI Online, you can look at the video. I'm doing a video with my daughter and I. Last Christmas, I had to do Christmas with my daughter on New Year's because she had her mother. So we created that time and we made that time Christmas. So the holiday isn't about the actual date, it's about the energy behind that. If you understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say understand. So the second type of depression that people deal with is being away from their family. When you deal with being away from your family and being away from your loved ones, whether you're single and you don't have that special someone, or if you have a special someone but you can't be with them, you're going to have to recreate that time. You're going to have to reclaim your time. So That is very important. You have to plan accordingly so that you will be able to make that day special, all right? So you can reclaim your time. Even if you're watching this on a replay, like I said, I want you to participate. You're gonna have to reclaim your time. Reclaim your time. And I gotta hit this last point and I gotta go. The third thing that people dealing with entrepreneurship is dealing with loss, okay? It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of guts, and it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of balls, a lot of cojones, a lot of huevos for our Latinas and Latinos that are watching and for our visitors. I got to get back on track. So because of that, you might lose a lot. The number one reason why businesses fail is because they're underfunded and they use their own credit in order to build their business because they don't know about me. People like myself, like I would much rather, before I was working a nice comfy job. Like I said, I make $20,000 in commission working for banks. I'm okay. I'm not gonna give up my comfy job by telling you the rules and the guidelines. I don't want to give up getting my gold watch in retirement and having that badge of honor that I work for Wells Fargo. I thought I used to get so much play by saying I work for Wells Fargo. It was a nice cushy job. And surprisingly enough, in Sierra Leone, my grandfather was in the banking industry too. So I'm third generation entrepreneurship in banking and finance, which is like the coolest thing to me. Like Jehovah God is amazing to me. But nevertheless, I said all that to say this, is that you're going to deal with a lot of loss. You're going to fail. You guys see me successful now. You guys see me structured now, but wasn't always what I did. Like I started off when I was 18 years old and I flipped my first piece of property when I was 18. My third piece of property, I had to do what's called a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So I was flipping real estate, and I built up such a good relationship with a bank that I ended up getting into a condo deal, and one of the biggest investors in that neighborhood went through bankruptcy, and I had to give up that condo. I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't sell it. I couldn't refinance it. I couldn't do anything. So I did a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So instead of, and this was in my name, I wasn't putting none in my business name. This was me being young, dumb, and foolish. I was like 24 at the time. And what happened was I walked away, but it was still a failure. So the ghost of entrepreneurship past still fights me to this day. I think about the times I failed. I am divorced. I am happily divorced, but I'm divorced. So the ghost of relationship past, I fight that often as well. I have failed at a lot of different things. But what you have to do is you have to learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, if you don't re-educate yourself, you are doomed to repeat it. The same mind that made the mistake or made the issue cannot be the same mind to fix the mistake or fix the issue. So I said all of that to say this: if you're dealing with the loss, if you're dealing with the guilt and the shame, defeat isn't defeat unless you accept it. Let me explain what I mean by that. Yes, on the outside looking in, the network marketing thing failed. On the outside looking in, you got a foreclosure. On the outside looking in, you got kicked out of your apartment. On the outside looking in, you had to live in your house. On the outside looking in, you lost your husband. On the outside looking in, you lost your wife. But all of that situation, if you learn from it, then now it becomes a learning lesson. And because it is a learning lesson, you are now going to be a lot more successful, and you're going to be a lot stronger. Whenever a bone is broken and it is healed stronger than the way that it was before it broke. So I want to encourage you, if you are in that situation, you're going to have to go through the 5 stages of grief. If it's the holidays and you're lonely and you don't have anyone, you've just gone through a divorce, your business just failed, you just filed bankruptcy, you just lost your house, just lost your car, there are 5 stages of grief that you're going to have to go through, and I'm going to hit them quick, then I'm going to answer your 5 questions because I got to go. The first thing is denial. You're going to deny that you are depressed. You're going to deny that it was an issue. You have to accept it. Don't be delusional. Don't be like, oh, I'm the man, I got it together. No, you have to hit it and you have to face it. Say, you know what, I'm depressed. I need to get myself together. Do not ignore it. You're going to have to feel it. The first stage of the 5 stages of grief is denial. The second stage of the 5 stages of grief is going to be pleading. You're going to then plead with your husband, or plead with your wife, plead with your ex, or you're going to try to save, kind of try to save your business. Or if I sell this, or if I sell that, or you're going to go and get one of these high-paying loans that you cannot afford to try to hold on to a person, place, or thing, and you're going to try to plead your way out. You gotta push past that. Listen, you have to get through the 5 stages of grief. You're going to have to get past the pleading stage. After you get past the pleading stage, then the 3rd stage is going to be anger. You're going to be mad. You're going to be mad at yourself. You're going to be mad at the person, the place, or the thing that you lost. You're going to be mad at the situation. You're going to be angry. But listen, when you are angry, this is very important. Do not make a long-term decision with that short-term thinking of anger. It's going to cause more destruction. So you're going to have to feel this anger. You're going to have to feel this anger. And when you feel this anger, you're going to have to push through. Do not make a decision in that angry state. After you make that decision, don't make a decision in the angry state, because you don't want to use that negative energy going into your new venture, okay? So it is denial. Then it is denial. Then it is pleading. And then you're going to try to negotiate. The 3rd one is anger. The 4th one is acceptance. You're going to have to then accept what it is that has happened. Yes, but you got to remember, you are not defined by a person, a place, or a thing. A person. If you lost a husband, or if you lost a wife. A person. If you don't have a relationship, or you lost a relationship. A person. A child. Unfortunately, if you lost a child, or you cannot have a child. A person. A place. Whether that be a house, a car, a truck, a building, an office space. A place. A person, a place, or a thing is a job. You're not defined by your career. You're not defined by your title. You're not defined by your licenses. You're going to have to go through this, and you have to realize that you are who God says you are, and there's greatness inside of you. And you can continue to push past these issues, and you can continue after you accept it, okay? So the 1st stage of grief is denial. The 2nd stage of grief is pleading. The 3rd stage of grief is anger. The 4th stage of grief is acceptance. And the 5th stage of grief is going to be ambition. You're going to have this drive after you've gone through that, and after you have dried your tears, and after you have overcome all of your obstacles, and after you've overcome all of that hurt, that guilt, and that shame, you then are going to have this energy, and you need to step out on faith immediately. Do not allow fear to stop you once you have hit that stage of ambition. People are going to say, you are retarded. Why on earth would you go out there, try to make a relationship work again, and it just failed? People are going to say, the first business failed. Why do you think that the next one's not going to fail? They're going to say, why would you go out and get another truck? Or why don't you just quit? Why don't you just give up? The reason why is because there is greatness inside of you. And as long as you continue and you go through those stages, you will overcome, and eventually it's going to click for you. If you take the learning lessons that failure tried to kill you, but is actually creating in you the character that you need in order for you to be successful. So those are the 5 stages that I want to share with you. Listen, there's 3 types of depression that most entrepreneurs go through. The first type of depression is the depression of dealing with mediocrity when you're not where you want to be. The second type of depression is not having the people around you, or not being able to give somebody the type of holiday or the different type of things that you want, or even dating relationships, or even social relationships. Then the third type of depression is dealing with the depression of loss. Those are the 3 major types of depression that entrepreneurs go through. Now, you have to go through the 5 stages of grief so that you can turn that situation around. Like I said, I fight depression on a weekly basis, and I am just bold enough to share it with you guys. I have to fight my self-limiting beliefs, my fears. I have to fight loneliness, because I have to isolate myself unlike the average entrepreneur, because I deal with additional stuff. I got adult ADD, so it's more difficult for me to focus. So you have to become even more focused. You know, understand what I'm saying? So position yourself to prosper. Now I'm gonna answer your 5 questions because I've got to go. There are 5 questions, so go ahead and ask me 5 questions, and I'm gonna answer the first 5 questions that I see. All right, so let's see who said this. Nikki Stewart says, love this. I was so upset when you forgot how much your transparency and wisdom. You're so very, very welcome. Thank you very much, Nikki. All right, so Brooker T says, true. I need to get into your training. Yes, who is that? That is Matthews. I just say Matthews. So Matthews, there's a link below in all of my videos. In every last one of my videos, there's a link to my Instagram, my Facebook, and my online course. Click on the link and it'll take you, and you can go ahead and enroll into the course. All right, so Marco says, how do you leverage property for a business loan? That's a very good question. So it depends. So that's a very good question, Marco. So in order for you to leverage property for a business loan, you have to have what's called equity in the property. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios because I can't get into the full deal. Today is Sunday. I have a very busy day on Monday because I've been away. Tuesday I have a very busy day. My calendar is packed on Tuesday. Wednesday I have a very busy day. Thursday, Marco, I'm going to do a traditional live where I'm going to do more just full-on consulting. That might even be 2 or 3 hours where I have your questions up and I'll be able to go into more detail. But I'm just going to give you 2 scenarios. So the way that you use property to leverage for a business loan is 2 things. The first thing is that you have to have equity in the property, meaning that you have to own the property outright. Or let's say, for instance, in Justin Frazier's scenario, he just bought a property for $10,000 that's worth $45,000. So if you do the math, 45,000 minus 10, that means that he has $35,000 worth of equity. So then what you would do is you would go to a lender and you would use your property as collateral and you would get a loan. You won't get a loan for the full $35,000. This is just rough numbers because I'm trying to hurry up and get to this brunch. But let's just say, for instance, you might get $20,000 out of it. So what happens is, worst case scenario, the lender doesn't care because, one, the loan is going to be interest only loan 9 times out of 10. They're going to give you the money, and God forbid if you foreclose or if you default on the loan, then they're going to come and get the property. So it gives them more security. So that's the way that you're able to do it. If you own a loan against it, it has to be in the equity. The second way is just flat out. Let's say, for instance, you have a piece of property that you own outright. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to do what's called a FIFA loan. Not a FIFA loan, it's called a FIFA title deed, meaning that they're going to actually put a lien against the property, and if you don't repay the loan, then they're going to take the property. So that's the quick, easy way for that very complicated question. But thank you so much for that, Mario. That's one. Second question is, Island Boy says, now starting fresh with trucking company, what is the smartest thing to do with your money to build your business credit? That's a very good question, Island Boy. What I would suggest that you do is create, even if you're working for, let's say you're working for Pepsi and you're driving for Pepsi, still work for Pepsi, still drive for Pepsi, but create Island Boy Enterprise. All right, not Island Boy Trucking, Island Boy Enterprise. And when you're creating Island Boy Enterprise, you're going to build up Island Boy Enterprise, and then you're going to put all of your funds into Island Boy Enterprise business checking account. Let me explain that. You are not in a non-compete unless Pepsi tells you that you cannot drive, and because you're not going after any of Pepsi's clients. You're, in essence, you're building what's called a shell or shelf corporation. You can build up to around $75,000 of business credit and get business funding without having to verify any income that's not income driven if you go through the proper steps to build it up the right way. If you go through those steps, then when you are ready to step out on faith and leave Pepsi and do Island Boy Enterprise full time, now you have leverage and you're not going into your business broke and you're not tying up your personal credit with your business credit. That's a very good question. All right, Island Boy, that's question number 2. Question number 3 says, system down, haven't been able to log into for days. Can someone help you tomorrow? Yes, I am. IMOS85, message me on Facebook. I am going to check on that when I am in the Uber headed to the Sterling brunch. So when you say system is down, I need for you to be more, so message me on Facebook and go into detail and send me a screenshot of what you see. I'm gonna answer that as soon as I'm done with this live, when I'm in the Uber. All right, so Brooker T says, boss, do you teach how to flip houses? Yes and no. Yes, I do. When I do the one-on-one consultations, I talk about it. I do have a course that I put on hold. My goal is to try to have it out by the first quarter, which is called The Power of Other People's Money. That's the third question. All right, Garnell says, good evening, everybody. All right, so Connections Edith says, Dean, have you tried Asweda for depression? No, I don't take anything for depression. The only thing I take it for depression is motivation. I don't take no drugs for depression. I'm not clinically depressed. I just am a black man, and I'm a black man in America trying to make something of myself, and I'm overcome by the blood of the Lamb. But no, I don't take anything for depression. I'm not clinically depressed. I just deal with it, and I keep it going. That's a very good question. All right, so Torini says, this hit home, and I overstand, not just understand. That's good stuff. I'm glad you overstand. All right, so Nikki said, and Nikki, this is going to be the last question. Said, and everybody else, if I didn't get to your question, ask the question below, and during my downtime, I'm going to answer your question. All right, so Nikki says, if you finish your first year and you want to sign up for additional years in two prices. So yes, Nikki. So Nikki Stewart, actually, guys, Nikki Stewart is a client of mine. She enrolled into my course last November, and Nikki actually has an oil company. Nikki's credit score is going up 125 points. She's done a very good job, but she went through some vicissitudes. I'm not going to share that because that is her business, and she hasn't given me the consent to do so. But once you're enrolled into my course, Nikki enrolled for our pre-launch, which was $50 a month for 12 months. Well, now the course costs $100 a month for 12 months. If you want to renew, if you are a previous customer and you want to renew, you can renew. You'll get it at a discounted price. Instead of it being $100 a month, it'll be $75 a month. Okay? So Nikki, if you want to, reach out to Patricia, and she'll make sure that you are able to renew at that discounted price. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for participating, and thank you so much for sharing. Listen, I want you to share this on Facebook. Share this in all of your private groups. Share it in the beard group, because I got the beard. I want you to share it in the sweatpants group. I ain't got on sweatpants, but you know, I qualify. I want you to share this in your black-owned businesses group, and all of your private groups. Share this. Share the gift of motivation and mentorship. I want to speak a blessing over every last one of you guys that are entrepreneurs going into this Christmas season. Don't let an Anglo-Saxon holiday make you feel bad for you going after your greatness. Don't let your fears and the past stop you. If you keep looking in the rearview mirror, you can't move forward. You're going to trip moving forward. If you keep looking in the rearview mirror, if you keep looking behind you, you're going to trip moving forward. So I want you guys to move forward and realize the greatness that you have. Listen, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. Not a person, not a place, not a thing, not a situation, not a circumstance. There's nothing that's stopping you from being successful. There is greatness inside of you. You are an overcomer. You are more than a conqueror. So guys, I'm about to go ahead and go as this bee tries to mess with me. But you ain't gonna sting me while I'm live on air. Listen, I will talk to you guys later, and I'm out.